Nkwachukwu kwere Urala. Iyi Urala. And onye nyere Nkwachukwu kwere Urala bụ eze Afrịka my own father. Do to ihe ọ na-emere Urala, my industries, my employment, my scholarship. O nyere ụmụ mmadụ mgbe ahụ. So eze Afrịka lebe eleju. Osi ihe a so echichi ọjọọ were tinye ha. Ihe a bụkwara Nkwachukwu kwere Urala na o teknoloji iche. Then mmadụ akọkwa gbachikwere nta agụ na Urala. O so na mmọnwụ anyị jiri nọrọ. O so na odogwu anyị. Ha ncha bụ the same generation. You basically when ndị na-eso ha n'azụ. Dịkwete m azụ a. Mmadụ ka BC Febụwa. And ebere Ibereme Motors and others. To mention but a few. Then the younger ones now prop up. And all you have the hope of Urala. My father is Afrokwe. Ezug, okay. Okay, see the second. My grandfather Ezug. Okay, see the first. From there, okay, see Ozara. Then you have Ezanika, which is larger than here, no Yahaya there. On the maintain that name. Ezanika. After Ezanika, Yaburu is a Yaji Millie, who on your guy Meliguma. You got an after the Yaji Milliard Zag. From Ezag, Yaba, as a one ago. As a one ago to as a journal. As a journal to as a docker. To Uturu Biaga. This village can have Uturu.
People don't deliberately pack up and go abroad. Don't forget that in the previous generation, people finished studying and came back to Nigeria. Yeah. But how, is Nigeria a meritocratic environment? Is it conducive for human habitation at the moment? You know, we have to just be honest. Nothing here is really conducive for development and for progress, and people just simply do not feel safe or do not feel that this is the best environment for their children to achieve their greatest potential. We have to be realistic, we have to be honest, and until these things change, this trend will not reverse. Unfortunately, people are looking to leave, more people are looking to leave Nigeria than are looking to return.
Hello guys, this is Creative Law TV. We are live and direct in Urala. Urala is in Idato North local government of Imo State, yes, and we are here in the palace of His Royal Majesty Eze Nnabugo Okosisi Ezanyika Okosisi the 4th, Eze Urala the 12th. So when you hear Ezulara the 12th, you will know that this is the ancient kingdom. The palace, the kingdom has been existing for 12th, you hear, and this is the 12th king. So when you know, in our side, when you talk about palace or kingship in our side, you hear Igwe in our side, but here they call it Eze, even they're all the same, sha. So we are here in this palace to meet the king, His Royal Majesty, so that he will tell us more about the kingdom, how, you know, from the first king to the present king today, which is Eze Nnabugo. So we are going to meet him so that we will know more about this ancient kingdom. And this Urala has been existing for long. When you come around this area, they are the number one. Before we talk about Akoko and other places, any town in this Idato North, I think this Urala, this Eze, this particular palace is number one. So we are here to hear the story directly from the king. Let's go and stay tuned. And before we proceed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you comment and make sure you follow all our platforms and support us because we really need it. We don't tell our story and we choose it upon ourselves to tell our own story. So what are you waiting? Support us. Support the movement. Let's go.
Afambo Sopolitiku Emmanuel Akom.
Perfect.
Augustine Test AIA Enterprise. Francisca Adeze is my mother.
Okay.
So this is my maternal home, and I brought you people because you know the Igbo.
Yes.
People are promoting the culture, documentaries, so many things in Igbo land. Ebo nona onabe His Royal Majesty Eze Nnabugo Eze Ahurukwe Eze Ugo Eze Okosisi Eze Urala, Parliament ruler of Urala, the 12th. Eze Ahurukwe the 3rd. Eze Ugo the 4th. Palace Yakon here. Urala have so many prominent people,
okay.
And with time, only you go around, only you have so many things, and only you have the king itself because he's in town.
Okay.
Is in few days time, like in 4 days to come, Urualla a New Yam Festival to glorify the fruits of the land.
Yeah.
It started from Urualla, Iriji, Shishin Urualla, Webido. You understand?
Okay.
People were in the area. Eba now, the head of Idato North and South. Or Eba,
Okay.
Urualla.
When you come to that or not and
North
south,
and
this is the
South.
number
Eba, we see number one. Yeah,
Wow.
number one. Yeah, now, sanctuary,
Yeah.
Aro Nime Palace,
That is chapel.
chapel, different things no Eba. Ono
Okay.
kagaga, ono yafu.
Okay.
Yota.
Okay, but
So, anyway, different billionaires. Urualla produced many
perfect.
people.
That's
Anyway,
what
about Ferdinand Anaghara, one of Urualla, Zeki Beya. Anyway, about Madako, Bines Hotels Limited. All where you Abe Hotels Limited under contract 100 years. Many things. Iga free $100, both water and other things. I will big man Kotek. You could talk about Kotek, Tommy. Yeah, he's from here. A big man. Tairi Rose. Nnewi Manono. Anambra Manono. Igbo Manono.
Mano is okay.
The production keji mara in Aota or here Jumari Urala. I went Chris Mary Hotel. Shasha Akuchini and water. On there. Companies, water company, bottled water company, different things, hotels, honor. Many prominent people in this Uruala honor affair. A royal prince Noah, which is Oyinatumba Lawrence Ezahunukwe. He's here, then Eze, no, many people. When you get to the Obi inside, you will see many things. Our Uruala is a fruitful land, and I believe that Okono Baleba Tata, on Napo, only have the difference.
It's a
Difference yeah, in positive ways, not in negative.
it's
Everyone na be okwara mpiago. So also okwu is okwasara eba is a blessing.
come on,
Na no more.
so okay.
Different things. Ono kaga ama.
Okay.
Mgba ana atu aka ana agwa ono.
Okay.
Aku egwe ama agba.
Mano is okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. He's the one that brought us here, and we thank him very much for making us to come here because Urala Nukobodo. I've been hearing about Chief Ferdinand Anaghara for a very long time. So, and today we are here in the palace. And one thing is that Urala is known for production. That's what when you talk about production, you talk about Urala. There's other people that their name is not even out yet, but they're doing big things.
We have many people. We have let Sir Innocent Okorama Clover Paint. His burial is in few days time, 28th August.
Okay.
He's from here. We have someone like Ibeneme. Let's Ibeneme. Ibeneme Motors and many more. He's here. Ibeneme Estates. We have Ebiogu. Ambrose Ebiogu. He's an in-law to Eze Edwin Okosisi. An in-law to Eze Ahunukwe. Ebiogu, he owns so many things. Like if you come up like estates, we have Ebiogu Estates in Aba. Half of Aba, he is existing. He's late. The first London boutique in Igbo land is Ebiogu. You understand? So we all are here. And I want my father because obodo na uru na apụta ihe ọma na apụta ụka dị. We brought ụka na palace. So many palace enwere ụka. Omenala dị ụka dị. So you include God is the creator.
Yes.
You understand? So I can hapụkwa wee mepụkwa ihe ọzọ. He is here with us. Mmụọ ala nọ chi okike nke ụwa nọkwa. So I want to
Kai Kusigodeba, let's go and meet the king. We'll hear more from us.
Ndewolo, good day. Ahambo Labugo, Okosisi like Urala, the 12th, Okosisi the 4th. Aum Eze Urala. Urala is made up of 8 autonomous communities. As I said, I am in the lineage, the 12th Eze in the dynasty of the kings and rulers of Urala Kingdom. The Urala is located in Idato North in Imo State, in Nigeria, which is in West Africa. Urala itself is an ancient kingdom. As I said, it goes back more than 12, a dynasty of more than 12 rulers. And if we were to establish the life expectancy of an average of, let's say, 70 years, we're talking about 700 years, over 700 years, 850 to 900 years back. So we have a rich oral history, and we also trace our origins back to Achina. Urala itself, Anambra State, maybe present Anambra State, Urualla itself is gives perhaps the hint is in the name that it's rich in soil and rich in farming, and that was what attracted the pioneer to from Achina to establish Urala in its present day form as it is today.
Ahambo Lawrence Ezugo Ezafruko Kosisi on behalf of Israel the 12th, checkable note, Okosi the 4th, Kamjina, in furtherance of what he has already told you people. Urala, Dikosi Gono, si from Achina, in Anambra, Nagwata division. Ebaka, our ancestor, and Mbiago, Siri Bia, he was a hunter. And no God they are here, not by conquest, but by deforestation. On our bear from time to time, or be chunta here. On they spend some time because from Machineba to Eba, or this is Eba Biara, and they man by that time, the arrow will go for conquest. Now, actual Eba and settled arrow chuku. Then young one move when Kabia, they are here. The Ochuchanta, who were born a month or a month, Ochuchanta, young one na me. Omichaya ubunie ya wee laa be ọ laa be ha na Achina e celebrate ya maka ọ na-ebu bandful of anụ owu o begide n'ihe a at a point ya na-emezi ọbịa hia o nwere nke ọbịa maka ọ na-eji ma ji were abịa ọ na-eri so ọ bịazie hia o meji ndị o wepụrụ isi ya ya nwere tinye n'ala the next time he comes he will see the yam he will harvest it. And don't harvest here. I don't know where bountiful harvest on it. He gave the best place. Urala. That is the interpretation. This is the profit I made from this land. Then he started having the interest of settlement. He moved from place to place. And the place he settled was there. From here now to the other side. That was the place. And that is his own burial ground up till now. So he started planting, at the end of the day, he came with his first wife. By then, it's the beginning of settlement. He came with his first wife. After some time again, he came with the second wife and gave birth to 4 men. He gave birth to 4 men. One, Uturumbiaga. That's him. Second, Ozuome. Ozu, sorry. Third, Ozuakole. And fourth, Ago. Ago. So these 4 men, he gave them alobi. Alobi. He gave them alobi. Far away. Can wake he may acquire more because nobody was living those areas then. So whoever he gave the land, he will give him his title. From there, all of them started developing. But eventually, all of them will still come here, whatever thing. Anchaga Bekwa here, celebrating you because one DNA because we came from a particular place. It's not everybody coming from here, coming from there. We are one root. one plant and many branches. So otu a ka o siri mee. And ọ bịara here were from Achịna. Anụsị a na-akpọ enem na ya n'ihe bene. And ịma na ebe ọ bụ na nnukwu anụsị dị, onye nwe obodo nwe ihe o mere bụ anụsị a na-eche obodo a. And the next thing ị ga-ahụ bụ edome nnukwu ahịa. Ahịa ka eji eche obodo. So edome ahịa na-akpọ Orie. Unu mana the four markets in Igbo land. Orie bụ enem ka e nyere asị ọhịa nwe werezi Orie edome na enem. Ya na ya nwe edomekwe eje ala na the other side of the second son na mgboge ebe enu. Ya nwe edomekwe ụna mmiri the other side. Domekwe Anisi ọzọ na the other side. But all of them, the entire Anisi nke nwe ha bụ nnoti nọ here. Ebe a bụ isi ya. Ya bụ fụ ha niile ebe si drive ha from here. That building nọ there bụ all note. Then ịpụ ebe enu nwere ihe a na-akpọ ire ọha. So ihe ọbụla ezu anọ n'ibe enu ukwu Urala kwuru ya. Onye eji akpọ ebe a ire ọha. And mgbe eji eme ihe dị na ya bụ in the month of October, no particular date. So that month of October, ihe a na-akpọ igbu awa just like otu ndị Anambra si akpọ ime ọfala. Ya bụ ịgụ arọ, onye a ji akpọ igbu arọ. So ya ga-adị ya na ọgọzie ndị Urala niile. Nke ọbụla onye ọbụla na-enwe onye na-eme ya, ya bịazie si ebe a were because ịma Christianity bịaziri mbịazie ime onye ọbụla bụrụzie onye ụka, but still onwe mgbe anyị ji lose the taste of our tradition here. Anybody bụ onye Urala, onye gbaraghara ya bịa ihe bịa jụrụ ajụjụ si ebe a jụrụ papa. So otu Urala siri dere ọya bụ na mbido ya. And ọya nwe ihe nwere kịta abụga nke a na-emezi politically 8 autonomous communities, but I must go not 7 because ọya nwe or his father, the late father, created ya. The other 7, including nke ya bụ Eze Maazụ. But ya nwa bụ ndị ọzọ His Royal Highness, ya nwa bụ His Royal Majesty, being what? In charge, a monitor for all. Ọya find Urala, aha bụ Mbiagụ from Achịna. Ọya onye agwụ ihe ọsọ ọgụ kwuo mee onye ọbụla bụ onye Urala ga-akpọ iwu ọkwara Mbiagụ. Gosi me, you reflect back. Ya bụ the document of everybody. Ma ndị other His Royal Highnesses, onye abụ ọkwara. Ị gakwa na nke nna gị ga-eburu ọkwara dị ya. Because anyị na-aga by primogeniture. Ọ bụghị by appointment or election or anything. The same way, o bido with just like ya bụ number 12. Number 12, nna ya bụ the 11th bụ Okosi the 2nd. Okosi the 3rd bụ number 12. Ọkwara Mbiagụkwa. My father, because I am his uncle. My father, Eze Afrukwe, Ezugo, okay, bụ Okosi the 2nd. My grandfather, bụ Ezugo, bụ ya bụ Okosi the 1st. From there, Okosi si Ozaba. Then, nna ya bụ Eze Anyika, which ile anya na ihe no ya aha ya dị ya. Ọ na-maintain kwe that name, Eze Anyika. After Eze Anyika, ya bụrụ Eze ya eji emeli. Onye ga-emeli gụnwa. After Eze ya eji emeli, ya bụrụ Eze Agụ. From Eze Agụ, ya ba Eze Nwa na-agụ. Eze Nwa na-agụ to Eze Jiọnụ. Eze Jiọnụ to Eze Doka. To Uturu Mbiagụ. Uturu ebe a niile, this village ka a na-akpọ Uturu. And ọ ituru bụ isi nwa Mbiagụ. Ọ ihe dị na ọnụ isi niile. Then, that Uturu, Eze Maazụ bụ aha. Ọ ihe mere Mbiagụ ji lụọ nwaanyị na abụ. Ọ sụrụ, ọ na-adịkwara mma ịlụ ụmụ nwaanyị na ụmụkwa isi ụmụ maka na ọ bụrụ na onye Eze Maazụ otu na o nwere anyị ugbu a. Ọ bụkwa ebe azụ ya. Ọ ihe o ji bụrụ aha. Eze Maazụ ọbụghị ọmụmụ ka a mụrụ kama aha eturu nwa ya. Ya bụrụ the name of our village. Otherwise, all through nwe Uruala people originally the productive in nature, and most of them, even if you get a good output, you still venture into business because when we hear the mother ị na-eme ihe, you depend on your own capacity and the ability to excel. So mana ịmago onwe otu isi ga na-eme na gọọmenti ị na-eru ya potentiality. So ọ na-eme ndị Urala ha na-doubt onwe ka ihe move ahead and o mekwere most of them succeeded. Somebody like this Ferdinand kpọrọ ha kịta Nkwachukwu kwere Urala, iyi Urala, and onye nyere Nkwachukwu kwere Urala bụ eze Afrịka my own father. Due ihe ọ na-emere Urala, ma industries, ma employment, ma scholarship, o nyere ụmụ mmadụ mgbe ahụ. So eze Afrịka lebe elejuo osi ihe a so echichi ọjọọ were tinye ha ihe arụkwara Nkwachukwu kwere Urala na o tegbe o ji iche. Then mmadụ aka ọgbachikwere nta agụ na Urala. O so na mmọnwụ anyị jiri nọrọ, o so na odogwu anyị, ha ncha bụ the same generation. Ibezikwa enwe ndị na-eso ha n'azụ n'ikwete maazụ a mmadụ ka BC Ifegbo a na ebere ha Ibereme Motors and others to mention but a few. Then when younger ones now prop up and all you have the hope of Urala onwebe with the iron deficit of those progressives in Urala. And I know why they can hopeful that now ọ na-agakwa n'iru ile anya na Urala like you said omee mgbe onye Urala ga-akwafe ọbara ị na-akwafe ọbara ga anaghị eme ọ nwanne m bịakete dị n'ụlọ anyị sesa n'ama anyị bata n'ụlọ bịa dozie.
In terms of culture, obviously we have a rich culture, as we've explained, in terms of our lineage and our, if you like, oral, continuous or unbroken continuous oral history. But yeah, there are challenges. We can't deny that. But what we are trying to do is to synergize culture and thinking with the benefits that come with advantages that come with living in the modern world. So there is no disputing that there are no challenges. But we at the palace here, from this perspective, have always pioneered. The first person to be baptized in Urala was my great-grandfather, Izugu. When the missionaries first arrived, there was a fear of Christianity. And they came and they met him. The first chapel is also up there as well. This is the first place that Mass was held in Idato as a whole.
Yes.
In Idato as a whole.
Idato Nation.
Idato Nation. The priest that held it was called Michael. And as a result of that, we named the church when it was built St. Michael's. So we have always had a progressive mindset. I think part of the challenges or bridging the gap between the technological world and the way that things work in the 21st century and some of our mindsets and our attitudes and perhaps some of the cultural inhibitions that prevent us from achieving the development that we need is something that we need to pioneer from the palace here, and that's what has always been done. So my great-grandfather was the first to be baptized, and the idea behind that was that if he's baptized and he doesn't die, then everybody else will get baptized. And that is really the idea behind the New Yam Festival as well. So if I eat the yam and I don't die, then everybody else can start eating the new yam. So what we have always tried to do from a palace perspective is to pioneer, is to take the first step forward and to show that there are no deficits, there are no challenges, there are no disadvantages towards having a progressive mindset. So to answer your question, yeah, there are challenges, but these are the challenges that we try and work towards solving year on year, and just to try and make sure that we're able to calibrate our progress and make sure that within the ecosystem that we currently have of we call it so-called governance, that we're able to make sure that we're able to drive some sort of development and progress forward year on year. So Yeah, as I said, it doesn't come without its challenges, but it's where we find ourselves, and that's what we try to do with the few resources that we have. Yes, it's very important. Uh, I can mix it now if you want, if it makes it easier. Now, mother maintained a relationship and a spiritual connection to Abraham. Unfortunately, we also have to be cognizant of the current economic situation and the difficulty that is in earning a living in Nigeria. In Elanya around you, you see that a lot of people are Batabe, Hakano Township, Abate. To a large extent, we have to incentivize and people have to have a reason for being here. Eben Nokita, I have challenges with connecting back to the rest of the world. In the industry I work in, things like AI are very, very and highly prominent. I haven't really I'm not able to send emails and to connect with the rest of the world in the way that I would do if I were abroad. So there are certain gaps that we need to kind of address at the same time as trying to understand the reasons why. Because and part of the challenges we have is yes, insecurity. I think that it's a multifaceted problem, and there is no simple solution, and there is no simple pronouncement or statement that can be made to assume that all of a sudden people will start flooding back home. We have to make it conducive. There is a reason why, and I think that until we start to address these issues, it's not going to get better. So, in summary, to answer your question, it's not easy. It's not easy. There's also, when it comes to things like traveling from abroad, there's an elevated premium to do with anything to do with Nigeria, whether it's about purchasing a flight ticket or, worrying about additional security that you have to provide. We're working towards it. I think that ultimately, I need the email to send out a message that everybody is welcome back home. And eventually people will find their way back home. People will reconnect with their ancestral or with their roots. But I think it's difficult to expect that to happen if um, the environment is not conducive for it. And some of it is just being honest with ourselves as to what the problems are and looking to address those problems as well. So yeah, well, of course it's not. But at the same time, what options do they have? People don't deliberately pack up and go abroad. Don't forget that in the previous generation, people finished studying and came back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But is Nigeria a meritocratic environment? Is it conducive for human habitation at the moment? We have to just be honest. If you look at all the precedents, all the antitheses, all the things that have happened, including, how we go about leadership, or should I say leadership selection, nothing here is really conducive for development and for progress. And people just simply do not feel safe or do not feel that this is the best environment for their children to achieve their greatest potential. We have to be realistic, we have to be honest. And until these things change, this trend will not reverse. So I think the fundamental question we have to ask ourselves is how do we change or what can we do to reverse this trend? And if we do nothing to reverse the trend, but continue to make statements or pronouncements or predictions or comments, the facts are still the facts. And the reality is still the reality. And unfortunately, people are looking to leave, more people are looking to leave Nigeria than are looking to return. If we don't offer people the necessary inducements and comforts and elements that they need, then human beings by nature are the same all across the world. They will migrate to where there are opportunities and benefits. It's as simple as that.